So Brian had to take all the rivets out of the top of the door.
Drill. Thank you.
And now what he's doing is hammer timing the top, kind of pushing the skin over as tight as he possibly can. Then he's clamping it and then drilling a new hole because the old holes don't line up and popping a new rivet in. Final rivet. Will this fix the door?
Only time will tell. This one here might be the one that changes everything. I hope this freaking works.
Oh my god, me too.
We spent so much time working on this door. It's a strong door. All right, here we go. Clamp is off. Does it close? It looks like it's gonna clear. Oh my gosh.
Woo!
It meets the jam. It meets the jam. It meets the jam. I love jam. It's completely clear down here. All the way.
Oh my god.
It's completely clear.
Oh, good job.
What, is there something catching that? It feels to be. I think it's just really heavy and we might have to adjust, or actually, you know what? The weather stripping might take up that. I don't know, we haven't even gotten to the weather stripping part, but it's not touching the top at all anymore.
It's so good.
Like you don't hear it touching at all.
No.
And at the top, it's just working.
Let's check out the damage.
Yeah, you wanna check out the damage?
It's actually not that bad. Got some clamp marks and some pounding marks.
Yeah, we might sand that off. So you can see the rivet holes I had to skip. Those were the original ones, all of these that have the holes in it, or just the holes without a rivet. And then I put one rivet on either side of the hole because if you could look straight down into it, you can actually see that there's metal in those holes because of how much I had to tighten up the skin. So I gave it a pretty good beating over there, but I think that once we might need to sand it. Maybe let it dry completely.
Yeah, we need to let it dry.
Maybe we rushed it a little bit. I rushed it. I'm guilty of that. I was rushing it. I was excited. What can I say? I get excited about projects and I don't wait till they're all dry all the time.
I'm like the paint diva. So I was getting a little frustrated that Brian was rushing, but we're like always bumping against our videos because these are like harder projects than we expected, especially this project. So.
Yeah, and they take a lot more time and a lot more energy and a lot more thought process.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Yeah. So we're gonna call it a night and then we'll fix up this door and show you what happens. I have more control over small pieces if you're going to. What's happening?
So the bottom edge of the hinge is touching the door as we open it and close it, but it looks like it's been like that for quite a while. It kind of dekes out just a little bit. So I'm gonna see if I could just tap it just a little bit forward and then have to tap it inward because you could see how it's kind of moved out just a little bit. That just provided more separation right there.
Yes!
Yeah.
Woohoo! Good news then.
Good news. And then that seals perfectly over there on that side.
Yes.
But it looks like this is doing good now. So let's put the light there and do a light leak test on this side. Notice right here how you can't see light through the crack, but as I open it, now you can see light. That means that the weather stripping's sealing really well there. So that goes along with the entire crack. The entire crack of the door here sealed real nice.
Now that the door has been hammered into shape, it's time to spray on the last few coats of rust coat paint.
Pro, ear pro, glove pro! Yeah! Safety first, kids. All right, so we've got this cool little backup camera that we're going to install here on the back of the bus. What a great place to install a backup camera, huh? It is wireless, so we don't actually have to run a wire all the way to the front of the bus. We simply just plug this into the electric on the back side, and then it's able to work. Now there's two different ways of installing this. One, you can install it so that it's always on. So as the bus turns on, you just wire it to one of the lights that stay on in the back. And then when you turn the bus on, it turns on. Or two, you can have it set up so that it only turns on when you're backing up. To do that, you would just wire it to the backup tail lights. You know, the little white lights that turn on whenever you're backing up, you would just wire it to those lights instead. So for us, we want to use this as a backup camera and also as a rear view mirror, because as you know, whenever you're building a Skoolie, you're gonna have all this stuff in between you and the back window, if you even have a back window, and then you can't see out of the rear view mirror. So why not install a little camera back there so you can? Oh, and if you want to check out the camera that we're actually using, check out the link in the description below. That's probably a pretty good spot.
Cool.
So we're gonna use a 7/8 inch hole saw bit so that we can cut a hole for the bottom edge of this cable gland. So basically that cable that's coming off the back side of the camera will go through here, and as you tighten it up, there's a little bitty piece of rubber in there that tightens onto the wire to seal it off. And that's how we're gonna make our entrance. Now, this does two things. It seals off the moisture from going into the hole, but it also protects the wire so that it doesn't get cut on the metal, because whenever you have shielded wire going through metal, you've got to protect the wire so that during vibrations and stuff, the wire doesn't get cut just from the vibrations rubbing against the potentially sharp metal that happened to be there. So before drilling into the skin, I went in on the other side to make sure that there was nothing right behind here. And there were some wires dangling behind from these lights here. So I just tucked them up underneath. And so now I've got this area clear and I am ready to drill another hole in the bus. Is this where we actually want it?
Yeah, probably.
Yep. All right. There you go.
Fast.
Perfect. Nice. All right, so I know what you're thinking right now. Oh no, Brian and Aaron, you need to paint the bare metal. Yeah, we're gonna paint the bare metal, but not right now. We're gonna install this, and when we go to paint the roof again, we're gonna just back this out a little bit, paint it, and then put it back in.
Sounds good, Brian.
Right in. So with a pair of channel locks, snug it down so it's nice and tight. There we go, that's super secure. So now we'll go and feed the cable. Actually, no, next we'll drill the holes for the screws. All right, so we've got our nuts. Once the pencil marks were in place, we used a spring-loaded center punch to help the drill bit tip stay on target for the pilot holes.
We used polyurethane caulking to help seal the holes for the camera mounting screws.
Then we used the impact driver to start the sheet metal screws, effectively securing the camera bracket to the Skoolie. We finished tightening the screws using a socket wrench because the space was tight. Now this needs to get in through past the rubber gland in there. So we'll do one at a time. And then this one also needs to go in. It's tight, but that's fine. So now I'll get the last piece through. And
as the cable gland is tightened, the rubber compresses against the wire.
So the gland's not the perfect size. We're gonna just fill the hole with polyurethane caulking, and then we're probably gonna put polyurethane caulking around this hole because, let's face it, we probably won't take it off when we paint it. Put it around all the screws too.
put it around the screws. There we go.
Look at that.
Nice, healthy, juicy bead around that one.
I'm gonna put it around the top thing too. Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Like around the threads.
Yeah.
Super expert by Murko. Yeah, just seal that in. There you go.
Seal it forever. We'll probably goop it from the outside too, huh?
Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we could.
Get up there.
You might need to come from this side. Oh yeah, that's real thick.
This stuff's not very pliable, is it?
No.
There we go.
And we've learned that you don't smear it, you just leave it in place.
All right, that's about it for that. There we go.
All right, so I've got the butt connector. I just need a little extension for the ground because this is gonna be, the red's gonna be connected to the white right here because that's gonna power it. And then we need this to come over and ground to this frame piece right here. And so I've got this little connector here that I'm gonna use for that here on this end. So let's strip that end off right here and get that connected. And then we'll put it in that connector there. And then we'll crimp that. There we go, that's crimped nice. And then there's the screw that we'll use for the ground. And then this red one, we need to connect into here. So what I think I'm gonna do is put a butt connector on one edge and then have the red one come out of that same one there and then crimp those two together. That should work. All right, let's try it. Oh, the point of no return.
They're just our tail lights, okay.
Yeah, these are just the marker lights on the top, so I'm not too worried about it. Even though they're nice to have and they may be a requirement in some places. Brah. this set up for success. There you go. Put that guy in there. Crimp him on real good. There you go. And now this guy gets to hang out with that guy.
Buddies.
They're buddies now.
New buds.
Nuevo amigos. Los nuevo amigos. Let's actually twist them together. There we go. That way they go in there. And I know that this is probably like, all you electricians out there are probably like, oh my gosh, you should have the XYZ connector and then you'll be able to do element OP. But the thing about it is I don't have the XYZ connector with the element OP.
That's right.
So we're gonna use the butt connector.
Here's what we got.
Yeah. And what that does is it keeps this wire together essentially, but it just adds a little something to it. Okay, so now we have this guy here.
So much wires.
That plugs into this guy. And this is what powers the camera and twist it. Now we have enough wire here to
Ground it.
ground to. So because that connects to the frame of the bus. So we'll go ahead and drill a little hole right there. Nothing on the back side. Hopefully it didn't punch through the bus.
No.
I'm joking. Sorry, Miss Big. There you go. That's grounded there. But just for now,
Yeah, we can tidy that up later.
like that. And then all of this will dress it up and have it up there so that when we insulate it'll stay nice or whatever.
Nice.
Now we gotta go to the front of the bus and hook up the monitor side of it. Let's go.
Let's just take a quick moment to look at how cute that is.
Oh yeah!
I like that.
That is nice.
It's a cool view.
All right, let's get this set up.
Oh,
All
did
right.
it work? Or are you testing it now?
I'm testing it right now. I just got, we're figuring all this out, folks. We're figuring all this out. Okay, so the monitor side of this, so it's wireless. This side also has an antenna, which communicates back and forth. So this side here has just a little pre-made connection, and it came with this 12 volt dash attachment here that you can plug in here and then plug into a 12 volt outlet. I've got a 12 volt outlet here that we actually got coming up from Phoenix so that we could charge our cell phones and stuff while we were driving. So I plan on putting this in here. Now, it also comes with several feet of wire that you can actually wire this to the fuse box. In the future, we're gonna wire it to the fuse box so that we can have this outlet available for other 12 volt appliances that we want to charge, like our phones while we're driving or whatever. And we'll have this somewhere on the dash. But for today, let's see if the wires that we had originally found, let's see if they're working. So I'm gonna turn the key to just the accessory on position. I've got the voltmeter set to DC, and I'm gonna test these leads. And all right, we've got 12.39 volts DC. So these are hot. You don't wanna touch them together, you might blow a fuse. So that's good, they still work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these little wing nuts and we're going to twist them together. So black to black and red to red.
You must be so comfy right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm so comfy.
You don't often get to sit while you're working.
I know, right? It's nice. So just for right now, this isn't gonna be the permanent thing, but we wanna start using the backup camera because when we're backing out of the barn, or backing anywhere while we're driving around, it's nice to be able to see what's going on back there. So we're gonna do this for right now. Let's just see if this whole system works. So here's the monitor, and then now I'm gonna plug this in. That should be on. I see a red light there.
Oh my gosh!
But it's not showing because we have to turn on the headlights. And now it's on.
Oh my gosh, good job, babe!
How cool is that?
That's so cool.
So from here, we're gonna have to adjust it down just a little bit. So we'll probably get on the walkies and adjust them.
Margo, are you there?
Sure am, Raj.
Hey.
I can see you.
This is great. That's really a live view, isn't it?
Really is, Raj.
All right, so I'm going to tilt it down a little bit because we want to be able to see the back bumper.
You're gonna need to keep tilting, Raj.
How's that look?
I can see the red lights. I think you're good.
See this right here? My hand?
I sure can, Raj. All your hairy knuckles, I can see them.
All right, I want to come up and take a look also.
Oh, this is great.
You want me to go back there now?
Yeah, you go back there.
Okay, Raj, I'm back here in position. Tapping the bumper.
Received. I could see you very, very well. I think that we might pull it up like maybe a quarter of an inch or so. Can you do that?
You can, Raj.
Be sure to press the button for about a second before you start talking.
Alright, I'm about to do it, Raj.
Received. All right, tilt it up maybe about a quarter of an inch. Repeat, I didn't hear your traffic.
How's that?
That looks pretty good. Can you tilt it down maybe an eighth of an inch?
Sure can, Raj.
That's pretty good right there. I can see the left and right tail lights. I can't see the very bottom middle of the bumper because the lens is kind of curved, kind of like the GoPro or whatever. But I think like this is more for backing than for just trying to see the traffic miles behind us.
That makes sense.
So I kind of feel like all of this might be just enough right here for just kind of seeing what's going on behind us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I guess if there's an ambulance or fire trucks coming or something like that, we just use the side mirrors.
Yeah.
And then I think the side mirrors will do the job for
Yeah.
that. And then this would show us if someone's riding our tail or, you know, we should not like abruptly slam on the brakes. The bus would win, clearly.
Clearly, yeah.
Maybe don't follow so close, people.
All right, so let's see about how far this is. So there's the line on the ground that we just saw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that might be 15 feet.
That's what I said.
That's what you
I
said.
said 15 feet. Huh. Did you hear me on the radio?
Huh? Yeah, I did.
Huh.
I was just,
You just took my number.
that was your number.
Yeah.
We've got a backup camera. Now, once we get this dashboard put together, maybe we'll put this backup camera maybe like right here, or maybe have it, depending on where this is at, maybe have it kind of set back, because I'm not sure how we're gonna have this all set up back here, but probably have it integrated or something to this console, because I think maybe having it right here might be pretty cool also. What do you think?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll figure out where that's gonna go, but for the time being, we'll just have it set over here while we're driving around. We'll probably have like a temporary mount or something like that, but it's working and the picture looks fine for what we need.
Sorry for the delay in installing the camera, but
Yeah, but thanks so much to my mom and Mike for sending this camera for Christmas in 2019. We just now got around to installing it.
we so appreciate it. It's going to help us be more safe, and that's a perfect gift to come from a mom.
Yeah, thanks so much. This might sound a little bit crazy, but this paper that we're using here to mask off the bumpers and the doors and stuff, it's all stuff that we reused from the road trip. If you haven't seen that video, check it out here. We use this for the blinds as we blocked off the view when we're staying in all these different truck stops along the way, so we could have a little bit of privacy while we were in pre-conversion state. So you never know. If you haven't ruined your paper, roll it up and use it for another project.
I've actually got a gap. I'm so glad we kept this. It's crazy how stuff that we've kept just like keeps coming back and we're able to use it. Love it. I wouldn't consider us hoarders, but scavengers and what's that called when you use stuff like resourceful? We're resourceful.
And repurposeful.
Repurposeful. There we go. Grab it. The last dribble drop.
Come on.
Feel the sparkles in the air.
I know, right? It's magical, isn't it?
So what do you think? Time to take it off?
Yeah.
I think so too.
All that. Bye-bye, masking.
We could easily fix that with a paintbrush. No problem. It's kind of hard to know which direction to go first, whether you tape off the whole bus and then you paint your doors, or you do it vice versa. No matter what, you've got pretty fresh paint that you're working with and tape and whatever. If you gotta do a few little dabs by hand, you don't want to get the rig out again to spray it, so.
The challenges of masking.
It's not really that big of a deal. Oh, we got all kinds of little metal shards attached to the tape. Which is sweet of the tape to pick that up for us. Oh! Holy smokes, babe!
Yay, the windows aren't broken from pounding on them.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Did you think about that?
I did think about that. I was like, okay, I hope I don't break these windows.
Shit, I didn't even think about that.
But I've pounded on a lot of windows, and even hitting it with the broadside of an axe, it won't break most of the time.
Wow. You gotta hit it with the pointy part, huh?
Yeah, the pointy part's where it's at, if that's your goal.
We gotta do a couple more coats on the bumper, so we'll just leave that taped up. Alright. Okay, we're gonna be able to see through this window entirely here in a moment. You ready?
Yeah.
Ooh, sweet. Yes. Nice.
Whoa. Look at that.
Thanks.
Oh, hello.
It looks so good.
We need to put the latches on now, Bron.
What you doing?
Removing the grit and grime from the windows. Yeah, this stuff's called Rain-X, and supposedly it gets the grit and grime off, and then there's another coat that helps like bead the water off better, so you can see out your windows. And these windows are pretty gritty and grimy, so we'll see if it helps. We're also gonna try it on our mirrors to see if it helps them become a little more clear too.
Wax on, wax off, grasshopper.
It's that little circles.
Little circles. That's solid.
Sweet.
You gonna try to close the door?
Yep. It worked!
It worked.
Yay!
Listen to that.
Dunk. We got a
That's
door!
solid.
Yay! Oh, it sounds nice too.
If someone's knocking on the door. Hello? Nice.
Sweet.
I'm gonna look on the inside. Cool. Yeah, it latches by about half the total latch length, which I think is fine.
Oh, sweet.
Like there's zero wiggle on that.
Nice.
So this is without pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes the whole way
It
if
goes
you
the whole way?
push.
I just-
Well,
What's that?
yeah, it goes the whole way if you push the door when you do it.
Yeah. So I just don't know if that much strain on the door on the deadbolt will like make it fail over time. So when we are throwing the deadbolt, it's rubbing a little bit too much on this side of the deadbolt. So we're thinking of taking this out and then grinding down this surface over here so that it clears the jam that's right over here. because we had previously bent it out a little bit, but it's still hitting about 1/4 of an inch in, and you have to really pull the door to get it to clear. So I think maybe grinding it down maybe 1/16 of an inch or so might be able to allow that to clear. I don't know. We'll have to try it.
While Brian does that, I'm gonna start putting the weather stripping on.
Looks good.
So the trim is a little tight
On this side.
on this side.
So normally this bulb is supposed to compress 25 to 50% of the distance between the edge and whatever it's sealing against. Luckily this is the inside, so it's not really needing to seal against outside elements too much. So we're just kind of pulling the skin back and shoving it in. And you're not supposed to be having this crinkle action here, so that just means that this radius is a little bit too tight for this particular trim with the side bulb on it. But it's gonna work for what we're doing. The outside's not really crinkled like that. I think we cut a little bit larger radiuses maybe on that one. I don't know, but it seems to be working just fine on the outside, so we might need to get some that has a smaller bulb for the inside, because these ones up here actually get even tighter than the other ones, so.
Lucky we ran out of the big stuff.
Yeah, so.
One of the main reasons we are using the weather stripping on the inside of the bus is just so that people won't cut their fingers. So I think it's gonna do that just fine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. And one thing we might do is just use safe edge instead of using safe edge with the side bulb. So that might be an option for these tighter ones also. We might just use safe edge.
Let's see what we can find.
New sound check. We put a little bit of weather stripping right there, as you saw. It's a 1/16 inch thick, and then I think it's like 3/4 inch wide or 1/2 inch wide or so.
Thud check. Test
Buzz
two.
check.
Nice. Nice.
Based on the sound, we'll know how tall the person is knocking.
When I knock,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Nice. It shakes the whole bus. That's how heavy it is.
That's a good thud.
We have a door on our home. Woohoo!
Yay!